Hi, good morning and welcome to Breakfast Week. Right now I'm going to show you how to make a basic omelet. I'm going to make a small one with just one egg, so I'm going to give the egg a good tap against that. I'm going to let the egg drop in there, and then I'm just going to take a fork, a whisk, or anything that I can use that's going to just scramble it up really, really well. And you want to make sure there's no white showing, and you give it a few extra little whips here and there. The more air you put in the egg, the fluffier your omelet's going to be. As you can see from the red on the stove, I am clearly preheating my pan. I use a cast iron pan that gives it a little bit of a different finish. So what I do is I heat it on high, and then just before I put the egg in, I put it down to a medium heat. And the reason for that is I want the bottom of the egg to set very quickly, because I'm going to show you a way to make that omelet a little fluffier using that heat. Now I'm going to need a little bit of grease in this pan here, so I can either spray it with a Pam, which is a lovely thing to do, and it's healthy for you, or you can give it just a little bit of an extra flavor, and you're going to put a little bit of butter in there, and I'm just going to sort of smush that around a little bit and get the butter to melt. And as you can see, I put a little bit more butter than just enough to coat the skillet, so I'm going to go ahead and take some of that extra butter out. I want to make an omelet, not fry it in too much butter. And then I've got it nice and bubbly. You can see it all bubbly there. And before my skillet loses the heat, I'm going to put that egg in there. You'll notice I beat it in there. And I'm going to beat out all the extra egg because there's no point in just leaving it in the pan. And then, since I had my skillet warm and hot, it's going to set on the bottom fairly quickly, and I'm going to be able to draw the cooked egg into the middle. And I'm going to wait a minute, and let it finish cooking. It's a little cooler, the pan, than I would like. Normally I get a little bit hotter, but I wanted to show you how it goes real slow. And then again, I'm just going to draw the egg into the middle again. And I'm just going to do that once or twice. And you're going to see that nice cooked piece of egg in there, and then the liquid's floating around. And then you just got to wait for the egg to cook. Now, if you're going to put anything that's dry into the egg, like chives, onions, cooked bell peppers, spinach, anything like that, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and beat it into the bowl with the eggs. Most people sprinkle it over on the top there, and as you can see, I've got my handy dandy egg turner here. You want to make sure you get one that's not going to melt on the edges. Now, as you can see, and I don't know if you can see, let me try that again there. You've got a nice little dry edge up against here and a little bit of liquid other places, so I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit of a dry edge almost all the way around. That's how you can tell when your egg is ready to flip. The top of the egg is going to be dry around the edges. It's still going to have a nice gooey middle. So yes, you gotta wait for it to cook. There's no instant cooking here. I'm getting impatient. I'm going to go ahead and take my spatula and just draw it around the edges here, just to make sure that my egg doesn't stick when I go to flip it. Now, while this is waiting, if you wanted to, you could do things like sprinkle salt and pepper on your egg. I don't believe in putting salt on eggs. It just doesn't need it, but I do like a little bit of pepper. And if you were going to put anything in the omelet like cheese, this would be the time to have it out and about and ready. So let me go get my cheese. And my egg and omelet are dry around the edges. You can see it's literally dry around the edges, and when I tilt it, there's not a lot of liquid stirring. So now it's safe to flip it over. And as it's sitting there, you're just going to take whatever little fillings you wanted to put there, chopped up bacon, maybe some sausage. You've got your handy dandy little cheeses here. And you don't want to put a lot because it's, tiny little omelet here. It's just a single 1 egg omelet and a little 6-inch skillet. You can make bigger omelets with bigger skillets, same technique. I just don't like big old fancy omelets. And while that's cooking on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and put my cheese away. Got that done. And now I am going to just fold the omelet over in half. I'm going to put the skillet under the egg turner underneath it. Flip it over in half. You can see all that nice lovely pepper in there. Flip it again. Cook it on both sides. Remember to turn the heat off of the oven. And we're done. That was an omelet, all nice and cooked and yummy. All right, guys, have fun.